Hi friends, so in today's video we're going to be continuing our series about designing our military for a new Republic successor, the Galactic Federal Republic. In this video we're going to be talking about the overall structure of our army and other ground forces.
Jake, you are majorly overthinking this.
You underestimate my power.
Hello there.
At the top stands the Grand Allied Armies, a combined wartime force of Republic, Allied, and militia soldiers. The Republic Army is made up of systems armies, sector armies, and individual corps. A corps holds 5 divisions, the largest army maneuver unit. Each division mirrors the U.S. Army's new structure, including 5 brigades broken into battalions, companies, platoons, squads, and fire teams. Lastly, N5 security droids supplement troops by carrying supplies or reinforcing units, and pit and astromech droids are included with most vehicles, as well as medic droids. Now moving on to the divisions, there are a few different types. First is the Light Division, a rapidly deployed and versatile ground infantry that includes organic reconnaissance units. They are mostly deployed in Imperial Troop Transports, or ITTs. This is a nearly indestructible speeder that has light weaponry, 2 blaster cannons, and a laser turret, which can support troops against other infantry and small vehicles, but it is nowhere means a tank. Moving on, air assault divisions are light infantry, but instead they are deployed by small, highly maneuverable LAAT law enforcement gunships. This is an Imperial version of the low-altitude assault transport used by the clones. However, it is better for urban areas and is a little bit more maneuverable. Moving on to armor divisions, these are heavily mechanized with walkers like the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer, or ATTE. As a dated Clone Wars vehicle, we would upgrade this by adding a reinforced cockpit and then taking the mass driver cannon controls from the open gunner seat and adding a remote station on the inside. A variant of the ATTE, the Unstable Terrain Artillery Transport, or UTAT Trident, was notably seen in the Battle of Megiddo. It's a repulsor version of the ATTE that's meant to be able to go over unstable terrain like bridges. However, it uses a turbo laser instead of the mass driver cannon and replaces some of its anti-personnel lasers with medium lasers for direct artillery support. Moving on to reinforced armor divisions, these divisions replace the ATTEs with A9 juggernauts. These are a smaller, more efficient version of the clone turbo tanks, capable of carrying entire platoons. Moving on, Marine Corps brigades are versatile naval infantry units, organized like army divisions, but at the brigade size. They include light, air assault, or armored units. Now, unlike standard infantry, our Rangers will only operate at the battalion level. As we mentioned in the last video, they are elite air assault troops with jetpacks, deployed by their own special troop transports. And lastly, our planetary support forces would also operate at a smaller level. They would consist only of a brigade. These smaller units are deployed individually for peacetime security, disaster recovery, and training planetary defense forces. They operate in 12-man squads similar to U.S. Army Security Force Assistance Brigades, and most of our peacetime units are planetary support brigades and part of the Galactic Guard. Now moving on, we'll talk about the support units attached to all divisions. First, we have the artillery battalions. These use AV-7 artillery cannons, which are designed for high explosive area shelling. And then also all-terrain attack pods, or ATAPs, used for armor-penetrating precision fire. Next are engineering battalions. They consist of T2E Petard repulsor tanks, which have flamethrowers, demolition guns, tractor beams, and plow blades for engineering tasks. Also, there's a variant of the UTAT Trident, which actually is a bridge layer that would be very useful in breaching. Furthermore, there's a walker crane that we saw in The Mandalorian that can be used for recovery and logistics of vehicles. And lastly is our Urban Assault Triped Transport, or UATT. This is a heavy first-order ATST walker variant that specializes in urban breaching. It includes a grappler arm and anti-infantry blaster cannons, as well as reinforced armor. Next is our aviation brigades, which utilize remote-piloted HMP droid gunships, providing fire support to gunships as well as providing close combat attack to supporting ground forces. This is also where vehicle transports are found. The LAATC can carry one large vehicle locally, and the heavier Gazanti cruiser can carry 2 large vehicles or 4 smaller ones, including gunships or starfighters. Lastly, close air support is provided by TIE Strikers, an atmospheric TIE fighter variant that specializes in bombing and air superiority, although starfighters may be used depending on the unit. Next are sustainment brigades, which include cargo versions of the ITT, as well as A9 juggernauts specifically outfitted as mobile hospitals, kitchens, command centers, and warehouses. Last is our protection brigades. They consist of anti-air battalions with RX-200 repulsor tanks, and these use ion beams to target specific aircraft. However, we would also use in our armored divisions the all-terrain anti-air walker. This is a slow walker that can provide strategic air denial because it utilizes missiles and flak instead of lasers. Also, we would have a military police battalion, and these would utilize Aero 23 speeders, police versions of the ITT, as well as all-terrain recon transports, or ATRTs, and additional urban assault tripeds. The Aero 23 is a fast backland speeder variant that was upgraded by the Rebellion to have a blaster cannon and grenade launcher. It would have to rely on its speed in battle, but this would be a perfect support unit. The ATRT was a very maneuverable and small individual walker that had a blaster cannon, and some variants claimed to have a mortar launcher. This would be used as mounted military police units, providing search and rescue, riot control, and reconnaissance. So there you have it. In the next video, we're going to talk more specifically about our infantry units and finish the series with our armored units. Thank you, and I hope you stick around.
Jake, you are majorly overthinking this.
You underestimate my power.
Hello there.